What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Front Office Football 9 video. We've got our Raiders series here entering year 2029. This is the final year of the Cinderella Challenge, so for those of you that have been keeping up, we need to win the Super Bowl this year. Otherwise, we lose the challenge for this particular team. Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? We started off really hot last year, but just couldn't really get through the injury portion. We just racked up too many injuries. By week 10, we were undefeated. Ended up losing to the Chargers. And lost like 4 out of 6 games. Lost to the Chargers twice, and then played the Chargers in round 1 in the wild card, and they ended up beating us. So yeah, I mean, it was it was definitely an underwhelming season with how the roster was built out. We were missing our starting quarterback, Alberto Powell, for quite a few of those games as well. We missed Amon-Ra for some time in there as well, as he was out with an injury for quite a while. And then we ended up trading for Zay Flowers to try and replace some of that production, which didn't necessarily work. He didn't have like a great chemistry with Powell. But I suppose maybe got us through some of the lulls. But yeah, all in all, I mean, this was it was just a tough year, and now we're looking at a roster that, like, we're turning over a leaf with some of these old players, possibly some staff members. The one that I want to check on is right here, Otis Whitesell, who's, still pretty good, I think. Good enough. He's 0 on the young players. It's funny, but he's still a really good play caller, player developer, and he's smart. So I think if we can keep him around, I'd sign him back for this final year, just one final run with him. But let's get into it. I already know there's going to be some decisions on, like, where do we open up cap space? Where do we re-sign players? Like, do we opt for... We probably want to opt for cohesion in most places, but in other areas, it might be tough to hand out contracts, and maybe we want to go into free agency with some money to try and bring this roster over the top. All right, let's get into it. Stadium plan, we're kind of, we just sort of skipped through that. Ticket plan, skip through that as well. All right, staff retention. Looking at Otis, I think, yeah, he's still like play calling, intelligence, and player development. Those are the things that we've really had him on for, and I do want to just keep his defense. I don't want to... Oh, we can't extend it right now, but I don't want to go further down without him. I still really like Patrick Graham as head coach. Still totally fine with Junior as our offensive play caller, per se. This is maybe our offensive play caller here, but sort of vibes guy. Ricardo Forsman. Just having somebody young on the staff, and then AJ, still fine. Yeah, so I think our staff is fine. I just want to go in and re-sign Whitesell. One more season, re-up with the staff. Here's the draft class. Joe Asher, a quarterback. This draft class doesn't mean a whole lot to us. I think we have a first rounder still. 24 we're picking. Whoops. No mocks yet. So, I mean, whoever we get in the first round is probably like, probably the guy that is going to have a chance at making an impact unless we find a steal. And I'm not even sure we traded 2 picks away for Zay Flowers. So we have a first, a third, and a fifth. That's all we have. We have 3 picks. So this is pretty much our roster. We're gonna be doing most of our work in this episode on free agency. Just looking at the roster and seeing what we can do with it. Wilkins still would only cost us 17 mil if we tag him. punter. Carlos Madsen we could throw, but he's only 27. I think we want to give him like a long-term deal. Richie Grant, who like is now our third safety, so no. And then yeah, the rest of this is like, you know, I think we give it to Wilkins again. Let's just tag him once more. Maybe he declines, maybe not, but like I'd like to just keep, he's like one of our few blue chip players. I want to make sure that we retain that. So let's take a look here. These are the players that were tagged. Wilkins got tagged again. He might be upset that we tagged him as well. That could be the other thing. He doesn't seem to be too upset. No holdout or anything, so he's fine with that. Okay, cool. Bert Fuerte is up for a contract, but he's going to cost 5 mil, so that's something that we're going to have to let go. Mark Juarez, it's only going to cost us 1 mil to keep around, and he's a pretty good runner. He was mostly a healthy scratch, but I think it's one where we pay that, and then if it comes down to it, we have a few running backs that are like 2-3 mil that we could save. Oh, whoops, almost knocked my glass over. I think like, yeah, Wally or Dylan, we could probably scratch for a few mil and like promote, quote unquote, Mark, and save a couple mil there. That's like penny pinching stuff. The fullback thing, I feel like worked pretty well for us. I wonder if we do want to keep doing that. The 29-year-old and the 32-year-old. I guess like the 29-year-old is what I'd go for, but like the leadership here is something nice. They're both mostly the same players, but Roberts has some special team. I would keep Roberts, I think. Yeah, a lot less of a commitment, 60K with the bonus. That's fine. All right, and then we move to tight end. I don't think we need to re-sign Marquez Grange. Clay Peck becoming a 50. We drafted him? 5th rounder. That's a pretty good pick. That's a pretty dang good pick. I like that. Nakua. All right, this is where it gets a little interesting with our receivers. We have Trace, who's like, he has a good connection with our starting quarterback, but he's going to cost like 4 or 5 mil. We could bring Trace back, and we could end up trading Zay Flowers. Zay does not have a good chemistry. What are we going to get for Zay? That's the question, right? Like, and he is 28. He's still in his prime. But yeah, I mean, like, we have 2 receivers. I don't know how much of an impact Zay Flowers is going to make on our actual day-to-day. And obviously, like, good depth in case, like, Amon-Ra or somebody gets hurt or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like we can get a 3rd-round pick. Oh, I'm sorry. We give up our 3rd-round pick. We get a 2nd and a 5th for him. I feel like it's good to have a little bit of extra ammo in the draft. It's not the worst thing. Tennessee. Okay. And then Atlanta. That's trading a 2030. That's trading. All right. I think it's going to have to be this Tennessee one. I think we just take that. We save, we end up saving like a solid, we get like an extra 6 mil in cap space, and then we add a couple of draft picks. Or we add 1 draft pick and sort of like move up 10, 15 picks. So we're getting this is like a 5th rounder. Essentially getting a 5th rounder for this. And that's fine. Just to fill some depth, cheap depth. For a 60 overall player, it's not the return that, you know, we gave up a 3rd and a 4th. It's definitely, Just real quick, where did Zay end up? What did he do for us? 28 catches for 355 and 0 touchdowns. 24% target rate. Yeah, I think we just need to like he was banged up a little bit when we got him too. I'd rather bring back Trace, I think. Yeah, I think this is one where I think we just pick up the picks for it. Unfortunate, but we need a little extra cap space. We have Trevor Palm coming up behind, but not a great chemistry. Do we give that money to Trace? We'll see. We'll see. We still have some other contracts to deal out. Carlos Madsen being one of them. We just give him the money. I'm not even questioning that. Ronald Busby, who's like a backup for us, 3-4 mil, and like 3-ish mil for Waltz. I don't know. Norm Wingler, he's had a tough time developing. Save us like $1 million. We'll see if we can maybe draft a couple linemen. I mean, we don't, don't have a ton of we don't have a ton of draft picks. We got like 4 draft picks. I think we just run it back with Cole and Carlson. Yeah. At this point, like, let's just keep the special teams strong. Milton Williams, what's he gonna cost? 12 million for a backup? No, I don't think we can do that. Octavio, he's still a promising young player for a couple mil. I think I'll do that. Especially considering, what's going to happen with Christian Wilkins. We don't know. That kind of locks up. We got Bruce Diggory here. I'd rather save the couple mil on Bruce. He's, it's just not happening. Linebackers. We have Sean Wang, who's undrafted. He's a pretty promising little prospect here. I wouldn't mind keeping him around for a mil. Yeah. Brant Soto. And then we got Derek Barnes, who's owed. We could save 11 mil by getting rid of Derek Barnes. He's 29. It's a backup middle linebacker for us. We could move him to outside and he'd maybe start, but we have cheaper options there too that I'd rather just lean into at this point. Our whole outside linebacker room is like pretty much locked in and rock solid. Let's see if Derek Barnes has a trade companion here. Oh. No interest for him. I think we probably just release him at this point. Yeah, I think we have to. Save like 10 mil, 11 mil. And then we got some corners here. I think corner is one that we could maybe hit in free agency. But at the end of the day, we have to bring some of these back. Akeem Tyler's like 3-4 mil. Like 3 mil for Bradley Rodier. Like 3 mil for Sammy Finch. And Corby, we already have on for this year 1 million. I think we have to bring back at least one of these guys. Sammy Finch, we know he can play safety. Maybe we bring him back as a safety to back up instead of Richie Grant, who's only gonna cost 3 mil? Oh wow. So they're expecting there's going to be a big drop off with him maybe, but even if it's a pretty big drop off and he goes like a 50 or a 40, he's still only 3.5 mil. I think I'm going to take that chance and bring him back. Continuity and stuff too. So that handles safety, backup safety. Hoffman was a great pick. Love to see that. Made a couple pretty good secondary picks here. let's where are we at with salary cap? 14 mil in space. So we don't have a ton. We could probably bring back one of these corners and then have the ability to like go for a big corner in free agency, but like yeah, we're pretty much like what we got here is what we got. Um Unless we find some other places to save money, like we could save a few mil on one of these linebackers, like a Tommy Eichenberg, possibly. Um, yeah, like you could save a few mil on him. We can nickel and dime and find some ways to like, because we can't restructure any contracts at this point. Luis Fuaga is going to be out 27 weeks. I don't think he's going to play this year. It's possible Fuaga doesn't play this year. We might need to actually bring in a left tackle. That might need to be where our money goes. So I don't know. We might need to clear out the corner room potentially. Ooh, I don't know. This is getting a little crazy right here. We might actually need to let go of a couple of these linebackers here and just run with like Tansy and Hector and Reed. Let's see if we can maybe trade one of these, Hugh and Tommy. Just save a little money and get some like draft picks back. Nothing. Hugh's got some trade value, possibly with Indy. Let's see what that looks like. Ah, I'd be giving up a 2030 though. Shoot. Give him and a fourth for a fifth and a sixth. That's wild. How about Miami? Nope, all future picks. Pittsburgh. We give up a 2030, and then Cleveland. Nope, we get 2030 and 31 back, so that's not going to do us anything. So no trade value for Hugh. I think we just hold them for now, but we can obviously release guys if we see a linebacker out there that we're interested in, or not a linebacker, an offensive lineman, like a tackle that we're interested in early on. Aaron Banks. We owe him 14 mil this year. I think we almost have to like let him go and lean into Lonnie Ballantyne at center, see if he can grow into something great, and then use this money to go and get a Fuaga replacement, essentially. Get another tackle in the mix. Yeah. I think that's good. I think we're a little short at corner right now. But we can, I don't know. I would love like a banging second corner, but like maybe Richie Grant could be that. He's 31 though. I don't think we can count on that. His man-to-man is pretty bad too. Trayvon can still cover. He's 29. Might have 1 year of good corner play in him. Like these are pretty good corner stats right here. He's 202. He's kind of built like a bigger corner. He's taller. He's heavier. How about at right corner though? A little bit closer. We could maybe move Trayvon to corner if we need to. And then let Richie Grant play safety one last time. We'll kind of see how that pans out. But I think for right now, I think we just have to go in with a smaller secondary right now and just or maybe you know what? Maybe what we do is like get rid of Tommy Eichenberg's our third weak side linebacker. Maybe we let Tommy walk. Grab 3 mil and then use that money to bring back an Akeem Tyler or a Bradley Rodier. Sam is physical. Lance, great zone corner. I feel like Akeem Tyler would make a lot of sense. Yeah, maybe we just bring back Akeem Tyler. Yeah, give us a little bit deeper of a corner room, just in case. We don't know what's going to happen with Richie Grant at this point. All right, cool. And we could even go as far as getting rid of Hugh Welch as well. But we really, we need to see what we got in store for at free agency. All right. Let's take a look at offensive tackles here. There's a couple in here. Troy Fountain. Garrett Bowles is 36. Still doing it, man. Troy Fountain, a left tackle. This could be what we need right here. Only going to cost us 14. How much space do we have right now? 13.9. Okay. Oh, we didn't bring Trace Eby back either, did we? No, we didn't. Yeah, I think it's probably for the best. We just let Trevor Palm handle it this final year, even though the chemistry isn't there. All right. But we'd still probably have to. Banks is going to have trouble moving anywhere because he's coming from center. Even though he's played guard before. Yeah. I wonder if Aaron Banks does have some trade potential here. A fifth, just move back one pick and here you get Aaron Banks. That doesn't really do much for us, Chicago. Thank you, though. Oh, got a 20. That fourth round 2030 pick is really valuable to teams for whatever reason. Dang, man. Ah! It's Miami. There's gotta be one in here. Oh, here we go. Trade back into the 6th round for 2 6-rounders. I mean, I don't know if that helps us. I don't think that really helps us there. Uh, Trade back 13 picks and pick up a 7th rounder. I mean, gives us like one more pick of flexibility, I guess, but like we might as well just pick up an undrafted free agent at that point. It's all for one season anyway. I'm going all the way down the list here. I'm seeing what every team has to say about Aaron Banks. Because, like, you never know. Last team, last chance. Okay. All right, so let's get back to looking at tackles here. I think that's the that's really just where we should be focusing our time, I guess. Like Troy Fountain seems like one that like he makes a lot of sense. Cap room after would be 6 mil. Oh, we still have space. Okay, we would just have to figure out. Okay. How's that? 13. Really? Dylan Lobb went crazy. Maybe it's just as simple as like trading one of these running backs. We know Wally Robb has that potential to be really good. He had a struggle last year, but we think Mark can be pretty good too. Maybe we like capitalize on the Dylan Lobb production. No, nobody wants him, huh? But everybody would be interested in Wally. What would they give us for that? Whoops, I meant for Wally. We get up into the fourth, but that's yeah, we can't do that. Can't do that. Bear with me, guys. We're just exploring some trades that I probably can't do here. Oh, we get 6 and a 5th for Rob with New England. Okay. That's kind of worth it. That's kind of worth it. Giants. Cleveland. Yeah, I think we're going to be able to get production from... Oops, let's get New England here. I just add a couple picks. Just add a couple picks for this year. Fill out some depth and save ourselves some money so that we can buy one of these tackles. I think that's worth it. And then Juarez steps up into like an active a game day active role. Okay, so that we got Troy Fountain is one that we're interested in. I'm nervous about the fall off here at 36. At 31, maybe Jordan Mailata. Tristan Wirfs at 30. These guys are going to want to sign immediately, but Troy is as well. I wish you had like a prioritized list. Zach Tom, who's 29. Seems like he'd be a pretty solid fit for what we're looking for. He's a left tackle. Yeah. Sheet Walker, primarily a right tackle, but we could make him a left tackle if need be. Scheme acquisition is not great, though. I don't know if that one really makes sense for us. All right, let's see how this first day goes with Fountain and Tom. All right, we got Zach Tom. Cool. Great. So that gives us some flexibility with Fuaga. without having to give up Aaron Banks as well. But we could give up Aaron Banks and maybe go grab a corner if there is one still. I don't know if there is one still. I probably should have thought about this. Tariq Woolen, maybe. Be primarily a man corner, but I think that would make a lot of sense. Costing about 9 mil. I'm willing to give it a try and just bet on Ballantyne. Did Aaron Banks have value? I forgot. Chicago. Oh yeah, it was like this 5th round swap. Yeah, we already checked through these, but let's check the Rams one again. Yeah, we're just not gonna be able to do it. I think Woolen is like a 1-year buy here makes a lot of sense. Another one of these guys too, maybe. Marco Wilson makes sense. Weak personality though. And then Lundstrom's red flag. Weak personality with Melton. Rocky Sins 32. Starts getting dicey. How about Sean? It's pretty much only Tariq Woolen that I'd be like really interested in. So I'd hate to cut. I'd hate to cut Banks and then not be able to get Woolen. But it's almost one of those things where I think we just have to go for it. I think we just have to go for it. Yes, we got him. Oh, okay. So now we got Woolen as like our second corner. I think that's pretty good. Sorry, I meant to go to salary cap there. We got about 6 mil in space, and we need some space to fill out this roster. So we'll figure that out once we get there. We have a few extra draft picks. Got 41 players on the roster. We're a little short right now, but we're gonna have to find some depth in the crevices. Figure out where we can save that space, where we can wheel and deal. Yeah, we're definitely short in a lot of places. Hugh Welch, possibly getting rid of him. I'd save 3.5 mil. That's like 3 players right there. Maybe Akeem Tyler, now that we have Woolen, just to get another 3 players there. That's the type of stuff we're thinking about. Yeah, that's maybe Dylan Lobb, and just run with Mark Juarez as our backup and pick up another running back, an undrafted one or something. That's the type of stuff. We got to figure out where we can buy like another 3 players or something, right? So, yeah, I think that's totally viable. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this into the 5th year extension day. Alberto Powell. I mean, he's in his last. It doesn't really matter for this particular Let's just extend it, I guess. Doesn't really matter. All right, cool. And then now we're at draft prep day. Cool. All right, guys, appreciate you watching. We're gonna wrap this video up here and bring it into the draft. We definitely have, I think we filled all the holes in the roster, specifically a left tackle. You know, promoting Lonnie Ballantyne. We did, you know, promoted Dylan Lobb and Juarez, you know, getting rid of some of the extra running back depth we didn't really need. Shoring up some secondary stuff. And then getting rid of some excess linebacker weight, cutting some excess linebacker costs there. And of course, franchise tagging Wilkins. So we have like the pieces in place, and now it's just kind of figuring out how we, you know, plug the remaining gaps in our depth spots. So we'll be doing that in the draft, and then afterward we have, let's see, we got 41 players right now, and we will be getting about, was that maybe 6 or 7 in undrafted free agents. 6 or 7 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more in the draft. 6 more. Okay. So that's about 12 players. We should definitely be able to fill out the roster. Well, that actually gets us to 53. It's possible we could like trade back or something. That's not going to get us enough. A lot of these are going to involve future picks. But if we do like a 5th rounder, we get a 5th and a 7th. We could pick up an extra pick that way, but like, is it even worth it then? Not really. We'd rather just grab some undrafted free agents. All right, cool, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.